Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm sorry I had a little bit of a delay with getting on here today. We had little technical difficulties. My apologies. I'm sorry. I feel like I was looking down. I was. The camera is right here. Hello, you beautiful people. And thank you for joining me tonight because we are getting ready. We are getting ready to talk about real estate. You know, transactions that don't close when they are supposed to close. All right. So I'll just give y'all a few minutes to get here. That's what we're doing right now. And we're going to get into tonight's topic. But how are y'all, doing otherwise tonight? Because I'm doing all right. Considering what has happened today, your girl is actually doing okay. And I am going to get into exactly what happened, how I ended up in this real estate situation. And your girl is still smiling. See, I had to put on my shirt. It says, long story short, God made a way, because that's how it's going down today. Okay, that is how it's going down. That is the mood I am in, because there ain't nothing else you could do but smile when things don't go, the way that you actually hope that they would. But yeah, so my apologies for being late. And I know you guys are here because you want to hear all about this real estate unfiltered. What happened? Why am I, the deal just went to the clinic, y'all. It is no longer, it is unalived. The deal is unalived. The deal, it does not exist anymore. And so let me just go ahead and get into it, because I don't like to hold you guys for a really long time. So what ended up happening, we were actually supposed to close today. Today was closing day. The sellers had already signed their documents, and everybody was ready. Title was ready. I was ready. Everybody was ready. So closing date in a real estate transaction is when all documents are signed and ownership is transferred from the sellers to the buyers. It is now the buyer's property. And that is also the time in the day where everyone who was involved with the transaction gets paid. The buyers get paid with their as they get their property. The sellers get paid whatever monies they're due from the seller of the transaction. The seller's agent gets their check. The buyer's agent gets their check, and the title company, the lender, everybody gets paid. Nobody makes any money until a deal is actually closed. So what people fail to realize is that essentially all the work that the realtors are doing on both sides actually means nothing until you actually get to the closing table. So, and even when you get to the closing table, they got to sign, right? So you can't count your money until it's done. So what happened today? It was closing day, and I represent the seller's side, and the buyers just decided that they were not closing. Some things had transpired between the buyer and their agent. I was even asked to help with that situation. Some of the agents from my company, tried to assist. I contacted them to try to get advice, because I was dealing with someone who also did not speak English. So on top of all the other challenges that we were going through with getting this deal code, there was a language barrier, there was a communication barrier, there was an understanding barrier because of the lack of being able to understand English. There are some things that the buyers just did not understand. And unfortunately, I was working with a realtor who was not as experienced. And unfortunately, the realtor was not getting proper guidance from their broker, and they were not able to communicate effectively to their buyers things that were happening within this transaction. So unfortunately, they decided they were upset with their buyer's agent, and they expressed to me some things and some concerns. And at the end of the day, we did not close. The contract was unalive, people. That's the word you got to use in these social media streets. It is no longer live. The deal is done, and y'all are like, you are still sitting here smiling. I am, because what else am I gonna do? I'm not gonna let y'all stress me out in these real estate streets, okay? But the sad part is my sellers traveled from a different state. Because they were expecting this transaction to close. So there was a financial burden placed on them, an emotional burden placed on them, because they were expecting this deal to close, as was everyone else. It is closing day. You are supposed to get to the table. So what happens when the buyers decide they don't want to close? So they didn't close. The property will be relisted on the market. And if anyone knows from a seller's standpoint, and even a seller's agent, when we have to put properties back on the market, people start asking, "What's wrong with it? What happened?" There's nothing wrong with the property. Things just didn't work out the way that we had hoped to or planned to, and now it's back on the market. Do you want to buy it? Do you want to buy the property? If so, let's keep talking. Let's keep it moving. If not, just don't be asking all those questions just to be nosy. Like, do you want the property or not? Do you want to make an offer? There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing horrible. It just didn't work out for that particular buyer. And the crazy thing about all of this is the buyer wants to keep the deposit. Pause. We're going to pause right there. We're going to take a pause for the cause. You are not getting your deposit back. You have breached the contract. It is a real estate contract. It's not something to play with where you just, oh, I think I want to buy the property today. Oh, maybe not today. I'm gonna buy it tomorrow. No, it's a contract. You have breached a contract. You are not getting your deposit back. It's plain and simple. We have passed all of the inspection period. We have passed the loan commitment period. Everything was good and ready to go except for you and whatever transpired between your agent, and you're not getting your deposit back. So now we're at a situation where the buyer is thinking that they're going to get their deposit back. And I am so sorry to tell you that that is not going to happen. We have to put this property back on the market. You had it off the market for however many days. I don't know the exact number of days, y'all, at the moment, but I would say about 30 to 40 days with the intent that you were going to purchase it. So my sellers have missed out on other potential buyers who may have been interested in the property and actually closed. And that is their loss. Their loss is you didn't close, so you don't get to get your deposit back. It's just not happening. So right now we are actually, I'm talking with the buyer's agent, going back and forth for 1 minute. I'm being told, oh, they're going to forfeit the deposit, but then you send me over something that says, no, they want to keep their deposit. It's just not going to happen. And if my sellers were forced to go to court or take the legal route, that is something that they most definitely can do, because the buyers breached the contract. They signed all the addendums. They signed, everything with the full intent to close. And they woke up today and was like, we ain't closing. And you think you're going to get your deposit back? Not going to happen. I'm sorry. It belongs to the sellers. And that is what I intend to do. So that will be my next round of, child, fighting for my sellers. Okay. And so I'm going to get that part done. And then now you just have a title company that have exhausted their resources. They have worked, they have put in time and effort and energy to get this deal closed, and they don't get paid either. So it's not a joke. It's not a game. Us the real estate agents, we're out here, we're working for, to the best of our ability to get these deals done, to get these deals closed. It's more than just us that are involved. The lender doesn't get paid either. So whoever was working on that file, they're not getting paid either because it didn't close. So you have a lender, you have the title company, the buyer's agent, the seller's agent. None of these people, and the sellers, none of these people are getting paid because you just decided, I want to breach the contract. So they will be facing legal issues in the coming future if they decide that they are going to try to fight for this deposit. And if that happens, I'll keep you up to date and tell you what happened, with that, who won the legal battle, which, I'm pretty sure, my sellers on the winning team. They got me over here. So my sellers are going to be in good hands with that. As an agent, I do feel bad because we want to accept offers that we feel are going to close. We vet these offers, we present them to our sellers, and we tell them that, hey, this may be a good deal, may not be a good deal. At the end of the day, even though it is up to the sellers to decide what offer to take, they are dependent on our expertise as well. So I do feel bad in that instance that it didn't close. It got to closing day and they decided that, they weren't going to do that. But I think, there's nothing we could do at this point but put our best foot forward. I'm going to put the house back on the market. And hopefully there is someone who's truly interested, who's truly serious, and will continue with the process. So this is a part of Real Estate Unfiltered that you don't get to see. A lot of people don't talk about it because it's just not a great thing to talk about. Who wants to talk about they were expecting to get paid and nobody got paid? Nobody wants to talk about that, but that's a solid real estate that happens. It doesn't happen often. Actually, this is the first time that this has ever happened to me. So I feel like I'm taking it well. I'm taking it pretty well. So this is the first time that this has ever happened to me. Hopefully it's the last. Yeah, hopefully this is the last and we don't do this again because this is not fun. Okay, this is not fun. And so I'm gonna go put the house back on the market. Hopefully find a qualified buyer that actually wants to close. I shouldn't even say qualified. This buyer was qualified. I just don't know what happened between him and his agent, and he just expressed a lot of dissatisfaction with things that occurred. So either way it go, I now have another property to sell. Well, I still the same property. I'm just gonna put it back on the market, and we just gonna go with what the shirt said. Long story short, God made a way, and we're gonna have a closing day. So now I'm gonna get back onto social media and say, hey, I'm relisting the property, and we're gonna get it sold, and that is just what's gonna happen. So this deal was, the man decided to unalive it. He unalived my real estate deal on the day that the baby was due. It is not here. We did not close, guys, but it's okay. I'm in good spirits. My thoughts are in good spirits. Thanks for hanging out with me. Y'all know I try not to keep you too long. Make sure you like, subscribe if you want more content like this. I try to give you the real in real estate because it gets real sometimes. So if y'all have some questions, let me look in the chat and see. I was looking at the chat. I didn't see any questions. I try to do good with it if y'all have questions. But thank you for tuning in with me. I appreciate y'all so much. But I'm getting ready to go. I cooked some spaghetti tonight. So we're going to have some spaghetti. And we just going to, revamp, relist, and we're going to sell this property. All right. So good night, y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me. This is Ebony with your Real Estate Unfiltered for the week. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.